I've been in Pic-O-De-Crop final since 2010. And I felt like up until 2017 or so, people figured Chrystal was a real serious person, you know, like real serious commentary. This is who Chrystal is. That's not who Chrystal is at all. Get your bottle and spoon and beat it. Get your rag and your flag and wave it. My friends keep telling me how I'm mad as hell, but I tell them no, I'm crazy. Cause the things I hear and see nowadays in we society, like marching into a church, assaulting the pastor while people bawl, is enough to lose all your faculties. False teeth, false hair and all. Man, it feels good to be back on stage. It feels so good to be backstage with other members of the Big Show tent. Being able to hear new music, hear a live band on stage, perform with the band, perform for an audience, because you know during COVID it would have been more virtual setting, but to get back there and sing on stage with people in front of you cheering you on is an awesome feeling. So feels good. Crop Over 2022 feels great. It feels kind of short because usually we have about 7 or so tent nights, but now you have 4. Well, we are doing 4, and that's inclusive of judging night. So it's kind of short, but it's a lot of fun. I'm doing a social commentary called Crazy. I had started it in 2020, just the first verse with another artist, Black of Fire. And we started it, I put it down, and then when I heard that Crop Over was not happening, then I focused somewhere else, producing the Junior Soca Monarch. Then Crop Over didn't happen again last year, sorry. And then 2022 came. Then we heard it was Crop Over. So I said, you know, let me just pick back up the song. And I toyed with it for a bit, started writing about 3 or 4 other songs, but this one in particular kind of was like my baby, because if you knew Chrystal outside of the stage, you would probably say she's a bit crazy and so much fun. I like a lot of laughing, and that is a side of Chrystal that I want to share with everybody. I can't get serious because obviously I gotta get serious, but then there's a real playful side of me that, like, you know, just goes totally crazy. And that's the song, Crazy. I sit down and I watch people a lot. I sit down and I analyze people. I grew up in Bridgetown. My family home is in town. And I would see some of the craziest things. All the street characters. Before King Dial passed, I was a child. So I would see him passing up and down, dressed to the nines. And I'm like, how you dressed to the nines with a pipe in your mouth and you calling everybody hog food and this, and you cursing and you getting on bad. And I mean, you got other characters, you got Ahmed, you know, you got all these characters and you see them moving. And then I tried to think, like, is our reality the real reality, or is their reality the real reality? Because you never really know, it's a mixture. So I kind of incorporated all these things into the song, because when you really sit and think of it, some of the things that we do so crazy. And the past 2 years, a lot of things. But then I'm doing a soca song as well. I entered in the People's Choice song in the competition, and that song is called Free. Free song is, you know, we're so glad to be back outside again. We are happy to be outside. We're happy to be having some form of jump up. It may not be the same thing, but life is not the same. Life is not the same. The last 2 years, we see people really change. You know, if you really sit down and analyze what has gone on in Barbados, people have changed, things have changed, the way we've been doing things has changed as well. So Free is about getting back outside and having fun, because we're free to party now, we're free to go out. I'm not really a party person, but I like the vibe, I like the energy, I like to see, it's my culture, I like to see Kadooman, I like to see Juve morning when we do 4-day morning. I like this kind of thing, so I decided to make a contribution in this way. So there again, another side of Chrystal, having some fun. No, I do not. I really do not prefer the one song. It makes it harder. Why? Because as I said in the song, one song, no time to run backstage and play you writing Pic-O to do nothing. No time to correct anything in the second half. So maybe you would have had with a 2-song format, you had a good first song. Well, let's say you had 2 songs. They were both good in your estimation. However, one of them went down the first song, didn't go as planned, you got that second song that you could go there and you could just, you know, just rip it right up. So for some people it works, and it works perfectly because in the first place they probably only had one song, you know, or was only able to think of one concept. But for me, I like that balance of having the two songs. I really wish at some point, hopefully next year, fingers crossed, they will go back to the two songs, right? Trinidad tried it, went back to the two songs. They tried it and realized it didn't really work, went back to the two songs. So maybe we could follow them.
Who are some of your biggest inspirations?
Okay, well, I'd have to say now the late singing Sandra, for sure. I love Rita's music. I like singing Francine a lot too. Tigress from out of Trinidad, here in Barbados, Chrystal Cummins. And I have loved TC's. I don't even know if I ever expressed this to her before, but I really, really loved TC growing up. Hearing TC, my mother was a big, you know, TC fan as well. She loved TC's music, and I love TC's music as well. Growing up, Gabby is a lyrical genius. He is very melodic, and I think that's why I like a lot. And also with my song Crazy, I would have gotten some assistance with him with the hook. And I like Plastic Bag a lot. Know thyself. That's the best thing. Know who you are, know what you stand for, know what you believe in and what feels right to you. I'd also say have an idea of what you want to look like on stage, right? And I say that because image is very important, and I learned that the hard way. And I say that because when I started out, my previous designer was making things for me that and it's only looking back, and it was not even intentional on my part. He always had my head tied, and this is where this whole thing about Singing Sandra came into play. Oh, she looked like Singing Sandra, she sounded like Singing Sandra. I was a younger artist then. I wasn't even studying looking like this woman. Yes, she was my mentor. It's nothing I'm ashamed of, but at the same time, it was not a good thing, right? For some people. I felt comfortable, but it's only after the backlash I realized, this is not working. So then I switched and I went to Pauline Bellamy for various reasons, not even just that. Have good people in your corner. And I say that from a very personal place because this year especially, this is my first crop over season without my mom, right? I went past November 2020. And up until the Sunday before the tent opening, I called management and I said, I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. And I remember this, I was in tears, and I can share this because I don't really care about it anymore because it's past. And I think that was just a wave where I said, I don't want to do this, I'm not doing it. It basically cut me out. And I had a serious conversation with Merle Nell's management of Big Show, who said, your mother will be real upset if you don't do this, you know. And had a conversation with some friends of mine called Donella, who's really close. Donella said, Chrissy, you gotta do this. Her mommy would tell you straight, you'll be idiot. And it's exactly what my mother would say. You'll be a fool not to do it. And that's what she said before she passed. Because I said, I'm not doing this if you pass. And she said, you'll be an idiot if you don't sing. Go and sing. Go and sing for the people. Do what you love. Don't mind me. I can be good. And that stuck with me. And even though it's in me, I don't feel to do it. Because that one face I look into the audience for, it hits me every time I hit the stage. And I won't lie, but then there's this comforting atmosphere when I hit the stage where I could say, I know you're here. You know, like, so having people in my corner to get me through that space, having people in my corner to tell me, Chrystal, this looks good on stage, this don't look good. Having friends who are not yes people, because sometimes I wanted to wear something, I wanted to say something, sing something, do something, and they say, Chrystal, that's weird foolishness. Don't do it, you know? So not yes people around you, but having people who are going to be brutally honest with you. My mom used to sit down in the audience, say very little to anybody. Just sit and watch, and she would come and she would say, this line, you need to do this. You need to change this. I still owe her royalties, as she would say. But, you know, this works and this don't work. And having those people, having those ears on the ground that will tell you, look, when you say this line, you get this reaction. You didn't get that reaction, you know, let's change up this. That's so important, to have strong people around you, so that when you feel like giving in and giving up and throwing in that towel, they say, look, you're doing this because in my case, your mom wouldn't want you to do this, and you know you want to do it too. I'm Chrystal Holder, also known as Chrystal Cummins-Beckles, and you are watching Crop Over Close Up.